Good morning, guys. Day 10 of Back to the Office after Burnout series. And I was focusing on the metamorphosis that I've gone through for the past year or so, and where I started feeling completely stuck and overwhelmed to where I am currently, feeling light and bright and being able to go back to the office that brought me to a burnout. It's been a long journey. It's been a process, and I realized burnout did not happen over time. That it was a process that led me steadily, one step at a time, to a burnout state. It may have started a long time ago, because at the end of it, I could not imagine going ahead any other way. I virtually felt so stuck, and not being able to imagine any other way of surviving and going further with my life. I realized I was needing change, but I had no idea how to accomplish that and where to start from, because my whole life seemed to be falling apart. And yes, it did not happen over time. I was ignoring chronic stress for a very long time. I was underslept for a very long time, to an extent that I hardly slept at all. I was not feeding properly. I put on weight, and I was thinking, okay, I'm a woman of an age, so this has to do with hormonal disbalance and everything. Trying to make all kind of excuses, but to face the fact that I was under chronic stress and I was going downhill. What I'm trying to say is that the earlier you recognize the symptoms, the faster the recovery. And accepting, acknowledging the signals that your body is giving you is not a given. You need to be ready to do that. It took me longer than I ideally would have wanted, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. I managed to recover. I'm still recovering, maybe, from a place where I felt stuck. I felt incapable of managing my life. I felt overwhelmed with everything. I was constantly on the rush. Whatever I did was too much. I was grumpy. I was yelling at my kids. I was not enjoying life. And the funny thing is, I had accepted this as normal, and I had no idea how to enjoy life. I knew that this existed because in the past I had once felt the lightness of joy, which I was no longer feeling, and this felt like a very heavy weight on my shoulders. It is a process that one needs to go through in order to be able to recognize. But if you think that it's too much for whatever reason, that you are no longer capable of dealing with it, that you're not sleeping well, then you're not recovering, then you don't have time for yourself, maybe you should check, because most likely you're under chronic stress, and from there on it's only downhill unless you break. I pulled the brakes because I had to, and I'll tell you about it in a different episode. That's life. I have accepted it. I know that sometimes it's okay not to be okay. It's not easy, but as long as you move forward, there's hope. I hope this was useful from my heart to your heart. Love and light. Namaste.